All right, what's up, everybody? I've got two major system reveals, and one's going to sound like I'm casting shade at the other. I am not. I'm just talking about the immense opportunity that is PodMatch when you set your business up correctly. You're welcome to pause the screen and see exactly, what we're getting here. But I'm going to try to walk you through it as fast as I can. Now, these to-do lists represent interviews that need to be finished. You can also see how many unscheduled, and you can see how many messages we've received today, as well as the next matches that are ready to go. We're in a good position to where we can handle maxing the system out, which is a lot of fun. And I couldn't do that without a team member. When I was the junior co-founder of Restaurant Connect, we were helping restaurants with reservation softwares. And, restaurants they're very ill-equipped a lot of times to be able to serve both their customers as well as those who work with them. And the challenge back in the day, this was in 2011 when I started with Restaurant Connect, and we were going into restaurants that were using pen and paper to manage reservations. And what we noticed over time, what I began to see was that the restaurants that used inadequate tools typically had a lower caliber of personnel working for them and with them, because the high caliber individuals, the ones who were really professional, wanted professional tools. They would not work at a restaurant that did not give them the tools to succeed. It's the equivalent of giving somebody, and I would tell restaurants, like, you're giving somebody a toothbrush and asking them to mop your floors. I was like, that's not appropriate and helpful. That's not going to inspire the best workers to work with you. I see the same thing happening with business owners who love to cut corners and hire a virtual assistant and then not empower them with the tools, or they build a tool thinking the tool can do it on their own. They get an iRobot or one of those iRobot. It's a movie. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have one, obviously, the Roombas, and they think that that's going to make their restaurant clean. It can enhance the experience. It cannot replace the human being. And the more you try to do that, the more you end up jeopardizing the opportunity for a company to grow. Maybe that will change within a few decades. But why gamble your opportunities now when combining the right person with the right tools can create far greater success and win-wins for everybody than by trying to be cheap and cutting corners? PodMatch has empowered us. Last week, we had over 100 people send us messages and ask us to be on their show, and also for us to appear on our show. And Ange is my assistant who manages this process. I spent the first couple hours working with her on it to get our feet underneath us. We went through these videos together and watched them and discussed them to make sure that she and I both understood them. And she's been able to take off like a rocket ship with continuing to book appointments for us, accept people who can book their own appointments, and to get me on new stages. It is absolutely amazing what has come about from being a part of this. And I was just going to scroll through this with you. I took a bunch of screenshots too. But all of these people, as it says, are upcoming interviews with us. And as we move through that, you'll see the list just keeps going. And now over here, these are people who Ange has reached out to or engaged with that they've decided, yes, we're a match, and they want to move forward. And they either need to set a date and time, or we need to set a date and time. And then down here at the bottom, as I scroll through all the way to the end of that list, there's a couple people who we've already been on shows together. And what PodMatch does is it inspires Pete Moore and Matthew Sanjari, shout out to both of those amazing guests, so that we leave reviews for each other. And as we leave reviews for each other, we both get credit through this gamified system and our reputation increases, which, as my current rank is now, wow, that's cool. I'm already almost towards the top of the ranks here. And that doesn't surprise me because Alex, when I sent him the screenshot, and I didn't really know what had happened. I thought it was all automated. I was like, man, all these people are reaching out with automation. It's not. People don't have the ability to reach out with automation through PodMatch, according to Alex. Now, maybe there's one or two, but he's never seen anybody get the type of traction that we've gained on this. I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm talking about the processes, the infrastructure that exists for the quality of our systems. That's what inspires people to want to connect us. It's not because I'm cooler than anybody. I'm not. It's because I care so much about making sure people have an excellent experience, and so does my team. Now, I want to contrast that a little bit with another system that I do really like, but we're not maximizing right now. And at the same time, quoted, if you're not in the PR media space, and if you haven't really dipped your toes into it yet, this system can seem like an absolute genie, and it can be magical in terms of helping you get found. I'm not saying that it can't help your business, but we ultimately attempted to do the same thing almost 2 years ago. I was super impressed with the support that we were given. And I'm thankful that I was able to dive in deep fast and spend like 12 hours on it within 3 days, because I found the bottom of the well fast. Within 3 days, I was able to see, okay, this is not as scalable as I thought it was. On the outside, it looked like an infinite opportunity of PR media. It's not. It's just as limited, not just as limited as Haro, but pretty close to help a reporter out. It's more sophisticated, it's cleaner and better looking. Why am I sharing this with you guys? Because if I can save you months or years and also help you realign your expectations with the potential reality that's there, maybe some of you will listen and hear that and say, okay, now I can dedicate the right strength towards this opportunity. Now I can recognize the weaknesses that exist in both. Now I can prepare myself when I go on PodMatch to have the best experience possible. I know there's people who come in here, they don't set their profiles up very well. They don't take the time to connect with people. They don't have assistants to help. I can't do this by myself, guys. I take time for these videos because I know the influence and power of reaching the masses. But in terms of the one-on-one opportunities to dive through this, no business owner has the opportunity or luxury to be playing with that. We need to train people and then get out of our own way. And if we don't do that, we risk jeopardizing our livelihoods for our families. We cannot do that as providers to our families and those we provide for. So back to where again, if those people, they go through and they don't put their full energy and their full intent into making sure that they're really using this platform the right way, and they're just going to rink-a-dink play around for a little while, maybe they even take the workout serious for 1 or 2 days, does not result in a six-pack. Right? You have to be willing to dedicate yourself consistently and reliably to a process in order to maximize said process. So I bet there's a lot of people who aren't as bought into how great PodMatch is. I guarantee it. I guarantee you there's people that have come in here that have never even gotten close to touching this list and never put in the effort necessary or had a team that could help them move forward and shovel the dirt out of the way so they can say they've moved their mountains. And they're probably going to say, man, I had an okay experience with PodMatch. I'm telling you right now, if you had an okay experience with PodMatch, it is 100% because of what you did or did not do, not this system. I am incredibly impressed with what Alex Sanfilippo has built. I'm incredibly impressed with the quality of people that are coming our way because of it. You can look up any one of these names yourself and see. I guarantee you'll probably find 1 or 2 that wouldn't be the perfect fit for my show, your show, or for me to be on their show either. That's going to happen. But the fact that this is delivering low-hanging fruit as fast as it is, it feels like walking into a grocery store, and being given an avocado for 80 cents. Like that's, and what am I being given? Not an avocado. I'm being given some of the best relationships of the top people in the world. When I say top people, why would I say they're the top people? What makes them better than others? They're not better than others. They're serving people with more intention than others. And that you can quantify. Who's out there actually giving their heart and their mind to the world? Who's out there trying to make a difference and actually proactive about serving people in life? Those are the types of people I'm looking for. And I've been very, very happy with what I've seen with PodMatch. Now, we've only been into this now for a week and a half, but I actually expected today to have less messages coming in and maybe the system to run out of matches to give me. I don't know if we're still at the 4-hour mark because we're not scientific about this. We're not testing everything. We got too many other things going on. But the fact that there are new 6 loaded, and an hour and a half ago when I looked in here, there were not, or maybe it was 3 hours ago, that there were not, tells me we're still not at the depths of the well. We come up from air. For air, we're not really maximizing the way we could. Ange didn't get to schedule all of these, but my calendar is maxed out. We expanded and took on more appointments too, and that maxed out. We've now got 2 more appointments available in July, but August is maxed out. I don't necessarily want to keep going at a pace where I'm untouchable for everybody. I don't think that necessarily sets the right tone. I'm not at the Tony Robbins levels of life, and I'm not going to pretend I am. That type of growth, to me, there's an organic nature of building step by step to be able to get to that level too. That's not something that you can fabricate. And if you did try to climb a hill like that, I don't think you'd be able to survive, at that level of life. So that said, those of you who are building out there, my hope for you is that you will take prudently out of this what is going to help you move your business forward and think through, what stage am I at? How do I maximize these tools? I don't have to be number one. I didn't try for this. I'm not trying to be ranked in the global ranking. Just surprisingly, we got close already. But that's what's cool about when you put in the work, right? When you do all the exercises, the push-ups you need, the sit-ups you need, the right type of eating, etc. Next thing you know, the byproduct of paying your dues is that you end up in the right position of victory, and you're not doing it for the victory. You're doing it for the opportunities that because you enjoy the race, because you enjoy the people who are involved in it. You enjoy the community aspect of it. So if that resonates with you, we'd love to have you as part of our community too. So don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel or to comment on the video. Let us know where you're at. And also never hesitate to ask for help. We're always gonna try to help people the best way that we can. So if there's something else you could learn about this system or about Quoted, I wanted to say Twilio, it's a different system we use, or you're looking for help with business growth and you haven't been able to find a team that's open and honest with you and dedicated to the vision and going to help you not only accelerate the business, but break when you need to break and let you know if your good idea is a good idea, a bad idea, or an ugly one, that's willing to look at your strengths and your opportunities. And yes, be grateful for you and applaud you for getting there, but also will refuse to ignore your weaknesses and your threats. That's who we are at First Class Business. We're intense about it. It matters to us. Why? Because so many business owners are failing. So many are not winning. And it hurts my heart to see people walk away 6 months later and I wasn't open with them or I wasn't direct with them. And now they're going, why? Why, Jackson? Didn't you help me see around that corner or over that hilltop or understand the challenge that was going to come our way? Well, why weren't you more vocal? And so we try really hard to make sure that we can be as thoroughly candid with people without also derailing them from their vision. Because, and I'll end on this story. If I had had the opportunity to meet J.K. Rowling when she was writing her book on her napkin, if she had asked me, is this a good strategy for writing a book? I would have said, absolutely not. That's a terrible strategy. You need a publisher, you need an editor, you need this, that, and the other. And if I had come at her like that and told her what she needs, which I don't do, I don't believe in doing that. I believe in inviting people to see how we go about doing things. But I might have ended up blocking her from writing that book. Maybe she would have said, you know what, maybe I'm not good enough. And then she wouldn't have written a book that turned her into a billionaire. My strategies, they matter. They certainly can help, but they don't matter if the visionary ends up turning their vision over to me. I can't become the visionary for your brand. If you ask your service provider, hey, what do you think I should do? You can take that with a grain of salt, but you need to be the decision maker for the visions in your life. If you end up delegating that authority to somebody else, you're going to end up building their vision, not yours. And it's probably not going to end up with the alignment that you want. So I wish you the best. I hope you make wise decisions. And if working with us is one of those decisions, then that'll be awesome. Take care. Bye-bye.